The chase to the chase continues on for the PCSRA Sports and Gaming Channel as we welcome you to our second race. This time, it's the Buffalo Wild Wings Series drivers as they're ready for their 13th race of the season. Those doing double duty like Bridget Thomas and Hattie Swore and all them, they went and used the bathroom and swapped fire suits, but the catch is they kept their helmets on and they were running over. Same with Lucky Prescott as they finally made it over to their cars here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. That's why the start was a little delayed, so they can give the drivers who are doing double duty today to get a bathroom break out of the way, get their fire suits on, and all that yada yada yada. And they hurried down and got in their cars. So that's what made the waiting a little bit longer, but at least there was a good reason for it. But anyway, we're getting ready for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series 13th race of the season. It was a good truck series race. We only had one caution earlier today in our truck series race this morning. So those drivers that just got done racing the truck series, like Chloe Carmichael, Bridget Thomas, Hattie Swore, etc., they probably had a good talk with the Buffalo Wild Wings Series drivers, what the track conditions were like, but it's, of course, turned into from a cloudy day to a sunny day, so that's going to make things a little interesting. Plus, 200 laps for these drivers. It's the Rio 375 as we're getting ready for today's race. Emily Elizabeth starts on the pole position for today's race. Has not been the season for Emily Elizabeth, 34th in the point standing, so she really needs a good run today alongside one of the Red Bull Toyotas. We're going to show you your starting grid, by the way. That would be John Wesley Allen, former winner this season, Annie Winters, and Bridget Thomas. Of course, Bridget Thomas didn't complete the truck race as you look at the rest of the grid because of an engine failure in the truck series event earlier this morning, so she had enough time to change and put her fire suit on, and I bet she was probably disappointed after her DNF. Here's a look at the points as we enter today's race, all the way down to your Rookie of the Year points. We'll also keep an eye on the drivers who made it into this race via the non-charter deal, because we almost had a non-charter winner go to victory lane in our truck series race earlier this morning. It's time to get these cars rolling out as the Chevy Camaro pace car will lead the field off pit road, and we'll be ready to go green. And looks like we're going to have a wave off start because there's an issue with the 66, so that will be an automatic restart. So if you're those drivers I just mentioned who just got out of the truck, had to sprint on down, as that was the command to fire up the engines, by the way. If you're those drivers like Hattie Swore and all them who had to quickly get out of the truck series fire suit and had to get their Buffalo Wild Wings Series fire suit on, as the cars are now rolling up behind the pace car. If you're those drivers that just ran the truck race, and of course you didn't have time to change fire suit, or they did had time to change, they did change fire suits. So, or actually some of them just put their Buffalo Wild Wings Series fire suits on and just put the truck series patch on it, which they had to remove the patch, but you get my point. For those drivers that, that just, finished using the bathroom, got in these Buffalo Wild Wings Series, you have 100 laps on yourself, and you have an advantage over everybody else who was watching the truck series race real carefully. Do you have the advantage of possibly winning this race? That's probably the key thing. We'll have to see if that will be the case for those drivers that ran the truck race earlier today. Ari Springer, by the way, is your new points leader. She took the points lead over to Stephanie Driscoll last time out at Rockingham, North Carolina. Driscoll fell to second. She's now 20 points back behind Ari Springer. Greta Wagner is third. Max Slipson fourth. White Garcia fifth. Then it's Darby King, John Wesley, Jake Putnam, John Wesley, Allen, Luke Peters, and Jesse are at the top 10. Of course, Greta Wagner won last time out at Rockingham, North Carolina. Here we go. We're green here for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race at Rio de Janeiro. Already 3 wide. We had a little bit of a stack up in our Truck Series non-charter race. Same with the Buffalo Wild Wings Series as Maria Nowicki, oh my bloody earth, she just dive bombed it in the turn 1. She's like, let's go, let's get with the program. There's Trixie Wish, who raced her way into this event via the non-charter race. There's Lucky Prescott. Unfortunately, she didn't have a good race in the Truck Series, unfortunately. There's Sean, who didn't have a good race as well. Of course, April Winters got a top 10 run earlier today in the Truck Series race. Jesse Hart had a dismal run. There's the 7-7, Jordan Culp and Scarlett Wallace, two other drivers who raced their way into the event via the non-charter race. And Emily Elizabeth leads the first lap. So if you're the Buffalo Wild Wings Series drivers that didn't get the chance to race, that didn't race the Truck Series race, what kind of notes were you taking for that race? They were probably taking notes that, you know, it's going to take a while for passing to come into play, because that's the thing. We only had one caution, as I said, in our Truck Series race earlier today, but they got into a long green flag run in the truck race earlier today, which was very nice. And we had green flag pit stops. What will we see here with an extra 100 laps on the table for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series? What will we see that will help them translate that into this race? We'll have to wait and see. There's Lainey Fredrickson, who failed to qualify for the truck race, but did run the non-charter race, so that really did help. Victor Gonzalez in the 6. Earlier today, Victor Gonzalez, as I will look and see where he finished in the truck race, he finished 24th. He was also one of those other drivers that didn't have a good run, but learned a lot in this race, so that really helped him. Carlos Sinat had a bad race in the Truck Series race. So a lot of these drivers who ran the truck race have some good data that they can carry over to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race, and really could help them as far as trying to get themselves situated into this season's chase for the championship. All 42 cars have taken the green, so that's good. Back up front with Emily Elizabeth, who, as I mentioned, came in this race 34th in the points. She has one top 5 and one top 10 this season. Driving for MBM Motorsports. It's not been a very good season for MBM, even though in real life it's not surprising. Here in this deal, it's not surprising either. The only thing that is surprising is Sean Art, 36 in the points. That's kind of the surprising part. Of course, Sean needs a good run today. The good news for Sean, he's only 10 points back of 30th in the standings. That's occupied by Makoto Tanaka. But as I said, a lot of drivers who, like I said, ran the truck race, all they did was get a bathroom break, get a little snack, and now they're going to have they'll try to get some, they'll get probably a late lunch at the airport, or an early dinner. And then they'll be ready to go for Dover next week, which we're looking forward to going to Dover. Our first caution in the Truck Series race, and our only caution, came around lap number 11. When will we see our first caution for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series? Let's see, how far can they go on the fuel run with 200 laps? 53. So they went 53 laps on a tank of fuel. These cars can go a little bit longer because they're on the GNS physics, not the CTS physics. This is, by the way, race number 13 for those asking. And if you didn't tune in to what I talked about a couple of weeks ago at Papyrus for the Monster Energy Series, is that Buffalo Wild Wings cut their races from 33 to 30 as You Can Go Away virus protector, but it's going to start popping up and start getting annoying like that. Hang on a second, let me shut you up. And 1 second, having some technical difficulties. 1 second, we're having some technical difficulties. Nope, never mind. Never mind. We're not having technical. Okay. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. I was trying to get the off. Then it went black for a bit, and we're back. So, sorry about that. But back to what I was talking about. If you weren't with us, I was discussing this. So, for Buffalo Wild Wings, we are down to 30 races. We cut it from 33 to 30. This is race number 13. So we have, let's see, including today's race, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 races to go until we find out who will make the playoffs, as we're past the halfway point in the chase for the championship. Of course, next week it's Dover International Speedway next week. We will have the AutoZone Amateur Series drivers there at Dover. They were supposed to be at Bristol, but we rescheduled it to the weekend where Buffalo Wild Wings go to Mexico City, and we'll have AutoZone Amateur and Monster Energy Series from Bristol. And we'll discuss how that race weekend will work for when we get to that point. Of course, we will have non-charter drivers for. We will not have non-charter drivers for Kansas the following week after we go to Dover, because I want to have the 36. I want to have all the charter teams race each other to try to focus on going to victory lane. And so yeah. So starting next week, we're not going to have non-charter races until we get to the playoffs, is what I'm saying, for Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series. Monster Energy and AutoZone Amateur Series, they can focus on focusing on just racing. So, and of course, we're going to complete 11 laps, and that was under green. Of course, that was the lap we had our first caution in the Truck Series race earlier today. John Wesley Allen, a former winner this season. And talking about former winners this season, last week we had our first repeat winner in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, which was Greta Wagner. But she's not running well. She's running 39th right now. And there's where I was talking about with the passing, but John Wesley Allen's trying to stay side by side, but that's not going to pretty much help him. And that's what we saw in our Truck Series races. Passing in 3 and 4 was a little bit challenging, and now he's about to lose that spot to Annie Winters. But Winters was on the wrong side of the track to pass, so everybody's currently now single file as we're having problems with passing. That was what we saw in our truck race. There's Annie Winters. Winters 16th in the points, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s this season. Bridget Thomas, who's trying to bounce back after a disappointing Truck Series race, which she finished out of the race in 41st. So as I look at the playoff grid going into today's race, is, here's the playoff grid if this was the regular season finale, which is not. Greta Wagner, with her 2 wins this season, would have the number 1 seed going into the reformatted playoff points. Max Lipson, Wyatt Garcia, Darby King, who have been to victory lane once, they would be 2, 3, 4. John Wesley Allen, who's second, is 5. 6 would be Belle San Diego. Maria Nowicki would be 7, and 8th would be Ivory Walker. All eight drivers who have a win this season are all inside the top 30 in points, meaning their wins would count towards a spot in the playoffs. Ari Springer, Stephanie Driscoll, Jake Putnam, and Luke Peters will hold the 4 final spots on points, because 3 drivers who have a win this season are outside the top 30 in the points. They are Sean Art, Lucky Prescott, and Diana Lawson, which means neither of their wins would count towards a spot into the playoffs. And as I said, Sean Art is 10 points back of 30th in the standings. 14 points back is Lucky Prescott. And then a total of, let me see. Actually, correction. 100 points back for Sean Art, back to 30th in the standings. 114 back will be for Lucky Prescott, our winner from Bristol Dirt. And then 131 points back is Diana Lawson. So those drivers need a good run to close the deficit to them, and 30th in the standings. Another trip to victory lane could help them. We're going to check the back of the grid, or the rear of the field. Looks like Scarlett Nelson's back here. Justin Hugo, our winner earlier today in the Truck Series. Well, it looks like he may not sweep the weekend today. 41st. Greta Wagner, 40th, came in this race 3rd in the points, so she could definitely take a hit. There's Lulu Champagne, Monica Towns, Amanda Wallace, Victor Gonzalez, Darby King, 6th in the points. There's Diana Lawson, 30th. That's not where she wants to be, because she needs to start moving up through the field. Same with Lucky Prescott. There's 2nd in points. That's Stephanie Driscoll, 26. And where's the points leader, you ask? There's Sean in 20th. Sean's having a good run to start this race. There's Hattie Swore. April Winters back here in 17th. We saw Lucky Prescott, Diana Lawson, and also Sean. 3 drivers that are outside the top 30 in points that have wins this season. There's the points leader, Ari Springer, still driving the red Target car, because she won't drive the pink one until we get to October. That's when she'll drive the pink one. But like I said, if Lucky, Sean, and Diana don't get themselves in the top 30 in points, they will be eliminated from the championship hunt. And they're the only ones that have won races this season that are outside the top 30 in points. So if they got in the top 30, Ari Springer would be on the bubble. The 44, Sean is ahead. As of now, Sean Art is ahead of the 44. In fact, all 3 of those drivers that I was mentioning, Prescott, Lawson, and Sean Art, that is, all are ahead of Makoto Tanaka, who comes in that critical 30th in the standings. Because the regular season finale for the Buffalo Wild Wings series will be Kentucky. Truck Series regular season finale is at IRP. Buffalo Wild Wings regular season finale is at Kentucky, and then Lakeside in Australia is the regular season finale for the Monster Energy Series. Of course, it was originally it was supposed to be Watkins Glen, but I decided to put Castle Gorge and Lakeside there. Reason? Castle Gorge was good for the AutoZone Amateur Series earlier this year, so that's one replacement. Lakeside is a brand new road course for the Monster Energy Series, so we'll see how that race will go. And so far, we're still green flag racing. So these Buffalo Wild Wings Series drivers doing a very good job. Of course, cautions are on. I'm going to make sure to confirm that. Yep, cautions are on, but we're still clean and green. And the winds went from the north to the east. And track temperature feels like 110 degrees. Zachary Taylor, Cody Smart, and Nathan Orman talked about it on the pre-race show for the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, that you got to get your passes made before turn 3, because turn 3 and turn 4, and we saw in our truck race, it was difficult to pass. And the other thing was, we didn't have any damaged vehicles hold up the leaders, so you can add that element to the list of things we didn't have in our truck race. And Emily Elizabeth, if she were to go to victory lane today, we would have to see where she would be situated. Because if she wins today and she's 34th in the points, as I mentioned, coming in this race, she needs, not only she would get a win, but this could possibly, and keyword possibly, put her in the top 30 in the point standings. As John Wesley Allen trying to pass on the inside, but as you saw in our Truck Series race, it was difficult to stay up there, as Annie Winters trying to get in this fight for the win. And see, looky there, that outside was the place you want to be. And Wesley Allen just can't make the pass. See, like I said, it's difficult to pass, because I've raced on this track with the Xfinity car. It's so difficult to pass here. You would have to have another car help you push to get by another car. It's really, like I said, it's difficult to pass. And now John Wesley Allen in danger of losing second position to Annie Winters. See, John gets a good run off the corner, but the outside's where you want to be, and that's going to bring Bridget Thomas and Jake Putnam up into this mix. As we're now on lap 25. Here comes Bridget Thomas trying to pass Annie Winters. And she'll slide up and she will complete the pass. And that's really, like I said, this is hard to get this pass made. You know what I mean? Of course, Emily Elizabeth already ran her limited starts in the Monster Energy Series for Lincoln. She's running the 024 for the rest of the season. Or actually, in her limited starts. She's actually going to be done for the weekend because she's not racing tomorrow. Because we will have most of the Foster Series drivers in those rides. Matthew Ingram's scheduled to be in the 024 tomorrow. And here's the battle for the lead. If you get a good run off the corner and the leader has a problem getting off the turn 4 good, you can make this pass made. And John Wesley Allen trying to do so. Now, can he slide up? Yes, he can. New leader, John Wesley Allen. And now there's our first lead change of the day. And Diana Lawson is out of the race with an engine failure. And that's not what Diana Lawson needs. And now Diana Lawson's going to take another hit, and her chances of trying to get in the top 30 in the point standings just took another hit. And she could not ill afford a bad finish today. And now her day is done. And like I said, a number of drivers running well in points. If they stay where they are throughout the rest of this race, we're going to be in for a point shakeup heading into next week at Dover. And this is our last international race other than the season finale for the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Reason I bring that up is because, remember, the Monster Energy Series drivers had their Australian race rescheduled because they still have to race here tomorrow. And then they have to go to Australia when Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings are off. And that's after Trucks are done with their regular season finale. Buffalo Wild Wings are done with their regular season finale at Kentucky. Trucks are done with their regular season finale at IRP is what I mean by that. And it'll be only Monster Energy Series drivers going to Lakeside, which is in Australia. Brand new road course for them. And a lot of new challenges for that road course before we have all 4 series at Chicagoland and Pocono. And of course, Monster Energy has already been to Pocono once. They will get to go there a second time. And tires are going to be definitely the story of this race. Let me check something real quick. Doesn't look like it. Okay. I was just checking something real quick. So now comes the question for these drivers. We saw in the Truck Series race, and fuel might be a factor in this, as Emily Elizabeth's going to look for the lead again. This would be our second lead change in a row. Of course, we've had her and Wesley Allen lead this race. We haven't had anybody else take the lead. See right here, 1 and 2, you can get some passes made. Can she clear the 83? Yes is the answer. So Emily Elizabeth back to the lead. And she barely clears the Red Bull Toyota. But Wesley Allen just did the crisscross, but he's going to be on the wrong side of the track because like what we saw before when he did this 20 laps ago, is that the inside does not have the grip and just can't make the pass. Another thing I do need to mention is that we talked about this race being a critical point in the season. Of course, one topic we still need to keep our eye on is the drivers, of course, not only the playoff standings, but the drivers who come into this race in the danger zone of possibly losing their charter for next season. Because in case you all don't know this, of course, Laney Fredrickson, by the way, will be leaving that 36 ride at the end of the season because Lauren Grubius, or actually Laney Fredrickson is leaving this right at the end of the year because there's a rumor that if if Sarah Costello, that's who I was thinking of, if Sarah Costello makes it into the playoffs, Sarah Costello is most likely going to replace Laney Fredrickson. Carla Sinat's going to be replaced probably by Lauren Grubius. That's rumors going around because these two are going to be in Foster's next season and they will be leaving their rides at the end of the season. Same with Sean and Jesse are because they're also leaving their rides because they're going to be in Foster's next year. Carmichael's leaving her ride because she's going to stay in Monster next year. Same with Darby King. So there's going to be a lot of open spots as silly season comes around. And some drivers, like I said, who made it into the Truck Series playoffs, Justin Hugo and Victor Gonzalez, their spots will be probably null and void. But, of course, we don't know what Justin Hugo is going to be doing for next season as far as his schedule is concerned. Of course, he's driving for Michael Waltrip Racing. And there's also been rumors that Marty Stevens, if he doesn't start making and also I forgot to mention this, is that drivers who have not made a start this season, we will have the Buffalo Wild Wings and Truck Series will have divisions. So that way, non-charter drivers who have yet to make a start this season are guaranteed to have a start. So that way we can focus our attention on the chartered series drivers, the drivers that are in the chartered series. There's Sierra Harris. There's been some rumors this ride will be ceasing operations at the end of the year. And there's also been rumors that this car will be a Toyota next season for Joe Gibbs Racing. There's Wyatt Garcia. Of course, he's done with his limited starts for the Monster Energy Series. So now his goal is if he makes the playoffs, he would be probably going up to, he would probably get signed to go up to the Monster Energy Series. There's Kaylee Rankin. Kaylee Rankin will also be leaving this ride at the end of the season because she is a Foster Series driver. So there's going to be a new driver that will drive this 31 next season. Same with the 89. Of course, Quentin Moore is going to have to, will have to give that ride for a new driver that will be in the conversation as far as next season is concerned. Of course, Jared Underhill's leaving this ride because he's a Foster Series driver. And yeah. And also, we will find out who will be replacing Annie Winters, who already announced she will be retiring, but will remain as an owner for next season. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in these silly season months. John Wesley Allen. course, he is a driver in the playoffs. Of course, if he makes it in the top 10 of the points. Because remember, if you make it to the Elite 8 in this series, you are automatically, unless you already have a ride in the Monster Energy Series like Ari Springer is, then you've automatically confirmed yourself a spot into the, you've confirmed yourself a spot already for the Monster Energy Series next season. Because keep this in mind, because some of these drivers already have rides. Darby King already has a ride in Monster. Ari Springer already has a ride in Monster. The only driver out of this list who will not be new to Monster would be Max Lipson. Because Max Lipson is a veteran driver in the Monster Energy Series. And Max Lipson will be running the final 10 races in the Monster Energy Series. Plus the regular season finale at Lakeside in Australia. So we will have a new driver in that 98, or the 98 will not be showing up for Premium Motorsports. If Emily Elizabeth goes to victory lane, she would not only have a spot in the playoffs, but she'll be barely inside the top 30 in the point standings. The drivers who are in the danger zone of losing their spots at the end of the season, they are Sierra Harris would be 1. Diane Lawson, she's already got a win, so it really is not going to matter. So she'll probably be staying in this series because she has a win. Ditto for Lucky. Sean's going to be moving over to Foster's next season. April Winters is already in the playoffs for trucks, so her spot would be null and void. Emily Elizabeth is actually number 2. Carlos Knott is Foster's. Gonzalez would be having his spot null and void. Rankin is Foster's. Makoto Tanaka is Monster. Laney Fredrickson will go to Foster's next season. Greenville would be 3. Justin Hugo's spot is null and void because he's already in the playoffs for trucks, so he'll more than likely stay in Buffalo Wild Wings series. As the caution's out, by the way, for the first time today, they went a lot further than what I expected. But back in 4, Bridget Thomas 5. And Bridget Thomas took a hit in the truck series because now she's on the outside looking in. Looks like we have some skid marks in turn number 1, but I'll go ahead and finish this up. Chloe Carmichael's Monster. Ivory Walker's Monster. The next one would be Monica Towns. Then JJ Park, Lulu Champagne, possibly Michaels. And then Amanda Wallace. That would be the 10 that would be in the danger zones. The yellow's out. Let's see who brought this out. Maria Nowicki, a former winner this season. I talked about we haven't had any damaged cars as far as lap traffic is concerned, and she might be the reason for this yellow. A lot of damage to that number 9 at a Junior Motorsports. Who is she collected by? Oh, Max Lipson. That's one of the drivers who was in the playoffs. Oh, Wyatt Garcia. That's 4th and 5th in points that collided. Let's see what happened here. Looks like Wyatt Garcia had a heck of a run, and I think the 10 was slowing down for something. I think the 10 had a problem or something. This didn't bring out the yellow, surprisingly. I didn't get it. Oh, Laney Fredrickson. Now they threw the yellow. God, they waited a long time to throw that caution. Come on, officials. There's a shot there by the 9. And that's what the first caution is out. Looks like Emily Elizabeth stayed out. Everybody else, I believe, came to pit road. Oh, Emily, you should have pitted there, young lady, because now you're going to lose all that track position. John Wesley Allen's going to win the battle off pit road. Be careful. We haven't had pit lane problems today. So our caution, our first of the day, our second today, because we had a caution in the Truck Series race, and now Emily Elizabeth's going to lose all that track position when she has to come to pit road. She should have just pitted with the leaders. I mean, you're not doing yourself any favors by staying out on 40-something-year-old tires, because everybody behind her is all on fresh tires, and she's on older tires. So she should have pitted with the leaders. I don't want to have to say that was a pretty bad decision, but in my personal opinion, that was pretty much a bad decision for her to stay out. Because now you're going to lose all that track position. And now you have to come to pit roads. Max Lipson's going to be our first lap car. He's 2 laps down. Hopefully he doesn't overtake the 66. As we are back to green. As long as he doesn't beat the leader of the line, which he didn't. So this will be the first thing we are going to have today. Lap traffic come into play, and Lipson's going to get one of his laps back. But with the damage on his car, that's going to probably not last for long. Emily Elizabeth probably screwed herself by deciding to stay out, while Wesley Allen on back came to pit road. All the drivers that were involved in the incident have continued on. And Emily Elizabeth's coming to pit road. You should have come to pit road and not have this problem. Because like I said, there goes your track position. That will turn the race lead over to John Wesley Allen. You should have come to pit road, Emily. That definitely, I knew that 66 was going to pay the price for that staying out. So there goes all that track position out the window. Bye-bye. See you later. And this is the first thing, and like I said, we didn't have this in our Truck Series race. We're having this for the first time today in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. As we're going to be coming up to the 1/4 mark, I will also be getting ready to go get something to eat for lunch, because it's almost lunchtime as I'm recording this race. So I want to make sure I have something good in my tummy. I may just go get some like barbecue or something like that, so I can feel happy and all that. So now the 66, as I said, has now lost all of her track position. She just came out of the pits. Maria Nowicki is going to be slow, so this will be the first time we're going to encounter lap traffic today. Because we didn't have this in our Truck Series race, we're definitely going to have it in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. When I say we're going to have traffic, I mean we're going to have traffic involving damaged race cars. Because we did have lap traffic in the truck race. The only catch was it didn't involve damaged race cars. As Bridget Thomas has dispatched the 10 without much of an issue. Max Lipson's just trying to be a gracious back marker. I know he's off the pace and not running well. He is going to take a hit in the points, but the good news is he can ill afford a bad finish. There's Ari Springer. I think what Ari Springer is trying to do, and Cody can correct me if I'm wrong, and don't say I didn't warn him. I think what Ari Springer is trying to do is, if she does make the playoffs, I think her goal is she wants to win that championship, because guess what? That's a championship charter she could be guaranteeing herself for next season, that she could give away to somebody. As Bridget Thomas will become our third different leader, as she just took the lead from Wesley Allen. Of course, Bridget Thomas, her goal is to try to get to victory lane to get into the playoffs. She's 25th in the points. Emily Elizabeth needs a caution badly, because the leaders are about to put her a lap down. And staying out when she could have come to the pit road, the leaders, we wouldn't have this problem. This would have been the battle for second if the 66 didn't screw up. If the 66 team should have just pitted the car as usual, so. But that's on the crew chief of the 66. You costed your driver the win, that's on you. Because I don't understand why you stayed out on 40-something-year-old tires and you're going to be slow as molasses. Because now the 66 had that track position, went bye-bye. So, yes. So, yeah. That's on the 66. As John Wesley Allen's going to try to get the lead. And by the way, that's 5 points for Bridget Thomas because she led the lap. We talked about a driver who's trying to get a win to get in the playoffs. Jake Putnam is one of those drivers. A win for him, he would be in the playoffs because he owns one of those 4 spots on points. Should the 3 drivers that have a win of Sean Art, Prescott, and Diana Lawson don't get in the top 30 in points. Where would Sean be right now? He is 17th. Tanaka is 19th, so that's not a lot of points there. Prescott is all the way back in 33rd. So Sean needs to get himself somewhere in the top 10 in the point stand, or needs a good run today, as I said, to get himself in the top 10 in the points. Of course, he is also ahead of drivers that are in front of Makoto Tanaka in the point standings. Jesse Art, 10th in the points, running 39th. Of course, Maria Nowicki's got damage. Is the 19 on pit road? She is on pit road. See what? Oh, this must be an unscheduled pit stop. That's a tough break for Jesse Art. Good run for Jordan Culp in his first start of the year. That 77 has failed to qualify several times, and when they have qualified, they've had some pretty good runs. So while this is green flag racing, I'm going to go over Brahms to get me some barbecue stuff, and then we'll come right back. So we're going to go to commercial, and we'll keep the race going for you all. So that way you guys can enjoy some side-by-side content. If the yellow comes out while I'm gone, we'll look back at a replay. All right. Oh, Wesley Allen just took the lead. All right, so I will be right back. All right, be right back. Oh, we're under caution as I'm back. Our second caution of the day, so we've doubled the amount of cautions than what we had in our truck race. So as I come back from concession stands, we are under yellow. That's what I said, anything that happens while I'm gone, I'll come back. Alright. Let's see what caused caution number dos while I was gone. Alright. Let's go to the pace car. Oh, we got some drivers. Oh, Sierra Harris is out. Jesse Art. Has Jesse been stuck in the pit lane or... Yeah, it looks like her problem is going to be terminal, unfortunately. So Jesse Art's done for the day. We're told that April Winters had something to do with this caution. Let's see what happened. She must be the reason for this caution. And looks like the engine grenaded on her coming off turn number 4. So this is what brought out the yellow. Okay. Boy, April Winter's season not going the way she got held up by Scarlett Nelson. There's where she came to. That's probably what the yellow was for. Okay, so that answers that problem. It looks like the 81 also dropped out of the race with an engine failure. Big break for the... Yep, same problem. Engine went up in smoke. She came to a stop, but it didn't look like nobody hit her, so... So it was oil from the 06 that would be the reason for the second caution. That's a big break for the 66, who lost all of her track position. That caution was a saving grace. And they also lapped the 9 while we were in break. Yeah. So out of the race is the 81 and the 06. Jesse Art's also out of the race, so she's hopped out of her car. As they pushed that car back behind the wall as I hit my foot on the table. That hurt. Not right for a number of drivers out of this race. We're back to green. Honestly, Allen leads, so it looks like it was a terminal problem for Jessie Yard. So tough break for Jessie as she has now climbed out of her 19, as I said. So the 66, it looks like these drivers already pitted under that yellow while I was gone. So 38 in the race, 36 on the lead lap. Andy Winters at the rear of the field. Go ahead and take another bite of my lunch. Ari Springer's up here in fourth. And she's just passing Max Lipton, and that's not for position. Max Lipton's off the lead lap. That was damaged. Alright, I'm back. Just finishing up my side dish. We're still green. There's Paul Michaels, who made his Monster Energy Series debut last week at New Hampshire, as he's running part-time. Cheese. Out of the microwave. Dryer. So I will be back for a different reason. Alright, I'm back. Had to put my laundry in the dryer. So I'll have to do it later tonight. Still, John Wesley Allen leads. Jake Putnam second, Jared Underhill third. There's Ari Springer in fourth, Michaels fifth, Darby King sixth, Samantha Greenville seventh, Max Slipson's off the lead lap. Allsop eighth, ninth, Kaylee Rankin, Sean Art is 10th. Excuse me. Pull up our Wendy's race menu. Of course, next week it's the Dover weekend for all 4 series, as I said. Amanda Wallace, last car on the lead lap at 36. It's like an unscheduled pit stop. Excuse me. .44 and 12. Sean Art is also ahead of Lainey Fredrickson. Jessie Art going to be disappointed. She's off to a early shower here, as Wesley Allen still continues to lead. Battle for second here between Ari Springer and Jake Putnam. As that will bring Jared Underhill Springer just got loose. She's trying to stay alongside Jake Putnam. That little bobble she had in turn 4 really costed her, but she's going to drive it in. Oh, almost contact between the 41 and the 20, and Springer's going to get that move made. So move Ari up to second. Caution for the 3rd time today. And that will save the 22 from going a lap down. Looks like the 77 is the reason for the yellow. Bridget Thomas is involved. Emily Elizabeth's got a little hood buck. A great day turned into bad and got worse. And it saved Maria Nowicki from going another lap down. Let's take a look at the replay here, Daryl. Must be in turns 1 and 2. Yep, and looks like 77 had a problem. Yep, 77 had like some kind of a mechanical problem. He was running in the 16th position at the time of this. And looks like Lainey Fredrickson got held up a bit. And what it did is cause this stack up. There's the touch there. There's how the 40 got damaged. And that's why the yellow is out. 77, also some debris on the course. And pit stops. Looks like everybody will come in. Darby King will inherit the race lead. Or is it Amanda Wallace? Oh, Amanda Wallace is now on the tail and lead lap for some reason. She probably came into the pits when she should have gone all the way around. Now she's going to be in danger of losing a lap unless she can get another caution. But Darby King is the leader. 77 has fixed whatever the issue was, and we'll get back on track. Darby King goes to victory lane for a second time. She would solidify herself a spot into the playoffs. And we're back to green. The 10 and the 22. Oh, contact between the 77 and the 9. I think the 77 didn't want to get impeded by the 9, just booted her out of the way. That was female abuse. Now they got to deal with the 10, who's badly damaged. 22 needs to get around the 10 without an issue. Same with Darby King and others. Because remember, the 10 is badly damaged. Oh, yeah, see, the 10's got damage, and aerodynamics on a track like this means a lot. We're still green, but Darby King may lose the lead to the 55, but the 55 is going to be on the wrong side of the track. So Darby King will keep the lead as I continue eating my lunch. Darby needs to get around the 10 as soon as possible. Because remember, the 10 is damaged, so the 10 has no reason to be fighting with the leaders. And Darby's going to get around the 10 without a problem. 55's trying to get around the 10. The blue flags are out. The only thing that's ahead of Darby King is Amanda Wallace. Kaylee Rankin's back here. Looks like an unscheduled stop. Because we're at the midway point of this race today. Nobody out of the race from the incident when the 77 stopped on track. We're now halfway home in today's Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. Oh boy, can't say I'm going to be at the team meeting of the 66. Addie Swartz probably want to have a day to forget. But to be fair, you know, she's going to have a much-needed shower and much-needed rest. Same with Lucky Prescott. Good run for Lucky. Sean Art running in 4th. This is a well-needed run for Sean. Sean, as I said, 36 in the points, trying to get himself back into the top 30 in points. He is ahead of Kaylee Rankin. He is also ahead of Victor Gonzalez. Let's see, also ahead of, is Carlos Sinat up there? Yeah, also ahead of Carlos Sinat, Emily Elizabeth. Don't know about Laney, though. Yeah, he's ahead of Laney, but not by much. as the 44 has just got around the 10. '22 is up the speed. Hugo's trying to get around the 0, but as we've seen all day, just can't make the pass made. Oh, he's loose. He just got loose. That's going to allow Makoto Tanaka to get in this conversation. But remember, we still have one more stop to go in this race. 22 needs a caution to get caught back up with the leaders. Because the 22 came to pit road for some reason when she was given the way-by. So I don't know why she pitted under that yellow when she was given the way-by. She could have just restarted the rear of the field, but she didn't. She's like, no, I want to be on the tail lead lap so I can get lapped. And see, Hugo's trying to pass, but he just can't pass. You know, it's hard to get some moves on the inside line as Jesse's car's still on pit road. You know, it's hard to make passes on the inside. I've talked about this all day. It'll be a thing tomorrow in the Monster Energy Series. Wesley Allen, who led a good portion of this race, along with the 66. He might be on the chopping block as far as a U Blue it is concerned. Justin Hugo's going to try again, but it's not going to work. He just can't make the pass made. As I said, you have to do it in turn 1. You got to get a good run off this corner if you want to get the pass made, and he got a good run off the corner. Because your car's going to get tight if you try to get a pass made in turn 4. And Hugo has passed. So now a new leader, Justin Hugo. And that was what I was talking about earlier today. Justin Hugo, one of those drivers, already won earlier today in the Truck Series race. He's trying to get another win to make it a sweep here in Brazil. But the catch is he did it with Cody Smart in the Truck Series as far as the team is concerned. He's trying to do it for Michael Waltrip Racing, the team he's currently driving, the 55. And he has put Amanda Wallace a lap down. So Amanda Wallace just shot herself in the foot. And for any of you who try to get me on the board for saying the word shot, then that's a misinformed error. Jesse Art has emerged from the dressing room, which is the PCSRA HQ. The two teammates, Wesley Allen and Greenville, back here. There's Sean Art. And now Hugo has a lap car between himself and Makoto Tanaka, who just got second from Darby King. Sean's trying to get around this 10 car. The 77 is trying to pass Sean, but that's not for position. Now the 77 is going to pass Sean Art, but that's not for position because the 77 is a lap down. Yeah, the 77 shouldn't be battling Sean. He's trying to get the pass made, but Sean's going to fight back. And the blue flag is out for the 77. And he's not letting the leaders go, as we're still green flag racing. Still a good result for Sean, as he's trying to get his Martinsville win to count again towards a spot into the playoffs. Makoto Tanaka just got around to Amanda Wallace, so there's no lap cars between the 55 and the 44. Wyatt Garcia's a lap down as well. And already 4 drivers out of this race. All, ironically enough, all female drivers out of the race. Put my phone down so I can just finish eating, and then I'll just go and see the rest of the race. Oh, somebody's up in smoke. Oh, that's Tanaka. Caution's out. Lucky Prescott. Tanaka's out of the race, but one of our former winners is out of this race. So another driver who needed a good run today, looks like that's not going to happen. Caution's out. Let's see what happened as we're trying to get this slowed down. And NR 2003 decided to be a derping hyena. See, there's Lucky. Oh, it went up in smoke. And then Monica Towns just ran over the DLP. And this is the first time somebody has tasted the tire wall this weekend. Oh, Carla Sinat got a piece of it. So did Luke Champagne. Oh, Luke Peters and Bell San Diego. Ivory Walker. Somebody else just hit the 686. What on bloody earth are you doing, Emily Elizabeth? What was that all about? She just spun Hattie Swore for really no good reason. Let's see. There's the contact there from the 12. And she just turned dead left and spun the 86 around. Not sure what that was really all about. Jared's not too happy with the 86. That's male abuse. Don't know what the 66 problem is with the 86. And we're going to have more pit stops under this caution. Some drivers are going to... And okay, all the lead lap cars are on pit road. Don't know what that was really all about between the 66 and the 86. Sean Art led a lap, so that's 5 critical bonus points for him. That turned the race lead over to Xavier Allstop, who won the battle off pit road. Or is he off the lead lap? He is off the lead lap for some reason. I don't know what is up with this track. I thought he was on the lead lap, but apparently he was. But apparently they're like, oh, let's just pit before we get caught back up. Big mistake. So now he's going to be a lap down. Well, Lucky Prescott and Makoto Tanaka are out of the race. As we're back to green. So Lucky Prescott just ends what has been a miserable day for her. Oh, contact between Darby King and the 55. What was that all about? And Emily Anderson, or not Emily Anderson, excuse me there. Emily Elizabeth has been called to the big black and yellow truck. I have a feeling for that incident. Oh, look out. That was really dangerous. 3 wide going to 3. Oh, we got problems. There goes. Oh, they're crashing. We're crashing. Kaylee Rankin is around. Oh, what on Mars is Scarlett Nelson doing? Emily Elizabeth gets more damage. Caution is out, which is a huge break for these drivers. They can get caught back up. What on bloody earth was that? '24 is badly damaged. They had another stack up under the yellow. Let's see what happened here. Emily Elizabeth was called to the big black and yellow truck. Let's see. Yeah, what on bloody earth was Scarlett Nelson slowing down? Unless she had a problem or something. There's a shot there. There's how Kaylee Rankin got wrecked by the 24. I think she's trying to come to pit road, and Emily Elizabeth wouldn't let her in. I'm really not sure what that was really all about with the 24. I'd like to ask her that question. Actually, she can come in. We're waiting for the 17 and the 41 to catch up. And indeed, they will catch up this time around. Goodness me. Well, Darby King is still the race leader, so nobody coming to pit road this time. Way too early to come to pit road. Since they have to make at least one more stop. So the 17 and the 22 are back on the lead lap. And Scarlett Nelson has been called to the big black and yellow truck for that little incident. Because apparently she slowed down, like something broke, but she didn't signal the traffic. Victor Gonzalez ran the back for her. That's female abuse. Then she sideswiped then she got hit by, I think it was a car with no hood. The 40 of Bridget Thomas sent her up into Kaylee Rankin. First time we've had a wreck in turn 3 all race long, and all weekend, I should say. And then not paying any attention, runs in the 66. So I don't know what that was really all about between those two morons. Lucky Prescott out of the race. She has been released from the care centers. We're back to green. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my lunch, and then I'll call the rest of this race. So, sorry if I'm not talking much. Sean Hart in third. trying to pass Justin Hugo. Wow, he's going to get the pass made. Caution's out. Oh, I spoke too soon. He almost had the pass made, but the 55 just R-worded that. Oh, Scarlett Wallace, who just raced her way in. Oh, no. So Scarlett Wallace, the reason for this caution. Let's take a look at the replay. I'll go ahead and stop so I can put my lunch down. Every time I try to finish my lunch, we get a yellow flag. See what happened to poor Scarlett. First time we said this, 3 wide. Don't know if that was a good idea or not. And that's male abuse. And then wham, in the tires went the 7 and the 036. I missed the 7, damn it. First time we had some cars hit the tire, or second time we've had a incident, but this time drivers hitting the tire wall. I mean, just disintegrated the cars. And Scarlett Wallace's 360 OTC Toyota out of Bill Davis Racing will now be out of the race, and she'll climb out of her car. It's up break for her. Thought Sean had the pass made, but the car got loose. And then Justin Hugo just couldn't pass the 55. But Sean's just doing his best to make sure he gets into the top 30 in points, because now with the 44 out of the race, and he's also ahead of other drivers in points that are struggling today. Of course, Carlos Sinat's running well. We've just gotten the 1 to go signal. The 7 is also out of the race, same with the 036. Back to green. Might see some cars getting black flag because they passed on the inside before the start-finish line. Let's take a look and see. The 22 pass. Okay. Because remember, you're supposed to pass to the right. That was almost a penalty for the 22 for passing on the inside before the start-finish line. So that's almost a penalty, but thankfully it wasn't. Darby King trying to get another victory to get her locked in the playoffs confirmed. So apparently Emily Elizabeth has not learned her lesson about I'm like a moron. And of course the 86 was not too happy with the 66 over the radio. Emily Elizabeth's had a frustrating day, but there's just no excuse for you to just get going and just spin the 86 out for really no reason. Hattie Swar's not going to be happy about that. And Hattie Swore, when she passed the 66, gave her the one-finger salute on the way by. Yeah, she did not look happy on the radio. And, you know, and remember, that's a driver who ran the truck race earlier today. Yeah, I bet you the 86 and the 66 are going to have a cat fight. Sean now getting held up by Wyatt Garcia. And there's Darby King leading this race. Has not had a good season in Monster. But to be fair, she is a rookie in that series, so. Sean can't get around the 10. Most of all the Truck Series drivers that have already raced today, they've already left the track. Most of them stayed behind because they had to run today's race, the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race. So they're heading back right now to the States. They were told, the officials have told all of the teams when they arrived here at Brazil that after the race weekend is over, they ask the drivers to stay behind at here in Brazil. The hauler drivers were told to go ahead and meet the other teams and all that at Homestead, so that way they can switch out their trucks and cars, and then the empty haulers will take the cars they're racing here in Brazil home, and then take the cars they're racing to Dover, and then they will leave Dover fairly soon. Of course, the AutoZone Amateur Series drivers, however, have been in their shop for a while. I'll go check up on my laundry in just a second. Actually, now. So I'll be right back. I'll rinse this out. All right. Sorry about that. Back. They're getting closer to being in their window to make it the rest of the way. '77 trying to get his lap back, but he's not going to accomplish it. Sean Hart has now finally passed Justin Hugo for second. He wanted to pass the 77, but he's going to have to wait. Just go on board the Zero, take you a lap around Brazil. Sean Hart just passed the 77 and now has his mind set on Darby King. 77 trying to pass on the inside, but that's not going to work, as we've seen earlier today. The outside's the way you want to go. 77 got loose. Sean's trying to fight back. And now they've catch Bella San Diego. And Sean's going to keep second. Actually, Sean will not allow the 77 by. A couple of miles an hour off is Bella San Diego. 14th in the points. She'll definitely take a hit in the standings. Zero Car is going to pass her without much of a problem. Sean Art almost touched her. But that was because the 45 was not paying any attention whatsoever. So the 18 gets around without much of an issue. Now they'll get around her. That was close. Maria Nowicki will be the next car to get up. Because I will have to go to the bathroom. So I will be back. Sean is all over the back of that zero. We have 28 on the lead lap, 34 in the race. Here comes Sean. A second win for Sean could possibly put him back in the conversation of making it into the playoffs. Here he goes. Got it. New leader, Sean Art, with 50 laps to go. Race at Phoenix. That was the last time she made. Sean Art has now led a lap. If he hadn't already, now that's 5 points. That's critical points for him because he gave this race 36 in the points. And with April Winters out of the race, he's already bypassed her. He's already bypassed Emily Elizabeth, which he's 21 spots ahead of her. Carla Sanat, on the other hand, is 18th. He's leading the race. That's 17 spots, so he's ahead of her. He is also somewhat ahead of Victor Gonzalez. By 11 spots. Of course, he's ahead of Kaylee Rankin because Kaylee Rankin got wrecked, and she is already dropped to 24th. So he's ahead of her. And then, of course, Makoto Tanaka out of the race with an engine failure. So he's ahead of her. So Sean Art looks like if he gets a second win this season, he would be in the top 30 in the point standings. And he would be confirmed into the playoffs, providing he stays in the top 30 in points. And looky there, they've cut the 9 car. Now, Sean needs to get around the 9 car quickly and fast. And looks like he's going to do so. Darby King's going to do likewise. Just try to dispatch the 9 car. Or have the 9 continue to hold up the 0 to where Sean can get away. Scarlett Nelson's got a hood buckle on her DuPont Chevrolet. Darby King has gotten around the 9 without an issue, but lost a little bit of time. Jordan Culp's got some left side damage on his number 77. And Sean needs a good run because lately he has had a tough season. Let's see in trucks. Sean finished 33rd a lap down in trucks. His sister has had a miserable day in both series. Oh, but Sean made a mistake. Here comes the 0. But as we've seen it all day, that inside is not where you want to be in this part right here. Oh, 0 got a little loose. Can Sean fight back? Sean's going to fight back. But Darby King made it work. Can Sean do the crisscross? Yes, he can. Great racing between these two. But remember, we still have one more pit stop these drivers have to make before this thing's over with. And Sean retakes the lead. Great stuff between the 18 and the 0. We talked about Justin Hugo being a 2-time winner this season. Of course, Hugo's leading the points in the Truck Series. Can Sean Ark get his second win of the season and get himself away from that 30th in the points? Because Sean cannot afford a bad finish. Xavier Alsop has come to pit road. This must be a scheduled pit stop. So we must have hit green flag pit stops because everybody, as I said, is in their window to make it the rest of the way. Bet you the 66 might be parked for a race. Because the officials have had, like I said, the officials have had problems with Emily Elizabeth. And remember, she was parked for the rest of the season last year in the Monster Energy Series until I think she was parked for the rest of the year. I wonder how long it's going to be until Emily Elizabeth will be parked from the PCSRA for good. Because we're down to 40 laps of racing to go. After this race is over, we will have our post-race show presented by Taylor running over David with a bus. They'll recap and analyze this race. Talk to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series winner as Darby King looks like she's going to come to pit road. So this is a scheduled pit stop for her. She's got to make sure her pit crew does not fail her on the pit stop. Sean's going to be staying out another lap. Sean will probably pit sometime next lap. As I said, we'll recap this race. Cody, Orme, and Taylor will recap this race here in Brazil. Get their opinions on the incident between the 86 and the 66. Have their final thoughts. And preview tomorrow's Monster Energy Series race here in Brazil. Sean's going to come to pit road this lap. And regardless, Sean Art will be interviewed. And it looks like Sean's going to stay out another couple of laps. I think he wants those fresher Goodyear rubber. That's why he's staying out. As long as nobody comes out and LePage's Sean, then Sean has a good chance to possibly win this race. As he had to get out of the throttle, or otherwise he would run over Victor Gonzalez and possibly could have taken him out of the race. Thankfully, he didn't. I think he wanted to get to the inside so he can get to pit road. I believe he'll be coming in this lap. Yep, he's coming in this lap. Is Hugo joining? Yes, he is. 41. Where's the 41? Unless she's already pitted. Yeah, she's already pitted. And she's coming out of the pits. Let's keep an eye on Darby King. Remember Green, the truck race. Will it play a part in who wins this? And I missed. And Sean's going to be second. But he's on fresher tires. So Sean didn't lose any time, so his pit crew did a good job not giving it up. So Darby King will retake the lead. But now the thing is, Sean Art is on fresher tires than Darby King. The 40 is in third somehow. But the 40 is off the pace with damage, so... And she will lead this lap. Sean will be third. So Bridget Thomas is going to will have to come to pit road soon before the race is over. Because she's got no hood and she's a lot slower. So Sean and them will Darby King and Sean Art will pass her. Sean's going to get around the 9 without a problem. Ari Springer will do likewise. Ari Springer's looking like she will keep the points lead heading into next week at Dover. And the 40 goes by. Still green flag racing, just checking the field. Sean has already passed the 40. I think the 40's on pit road. Yep, 40's on pit road. Okay. So now Sean has a 2-second gap to make up. Thing is that him and Ari Springer are going to slowly start chipping away at Darby King's lead. Yep, Sean's starting to reel in Darby King. Stephanie Driscoll with the fastest lap of a 46.2. Oh, here comes Ari Springer all over the gearbox of the 41. Sean just needs a good run today. That's all he needs, is a good run. So Ari is now in second. They're going to teamwork together. Here comes Sean. Sean should just let the 41 go and just try to chase after the 0. But the zero's got traffic in front of her. That would be Scarlett Nelson. Sean's going to go ahead and get behind the 41 because they're about to put past the 24. They're like, let's just teamwork and try to catch the zero. Ari Springer will get around Scarlett Nelson. Sean Art's going to do the same. Looks like Nelson just ran a little wide, but gave Sean enough room to pass. So all that damage on the 24 is really just hurting the 24 right now. And now the battle for the lead is on. Now they're about to catch the 40. If Darby King wins today, she would solidify herself a spot into the playoffs. We're at 25 to go. Now you see the 40 gonna get lapped. Here's a good thing, 40 and 41 are teammates. .40 car just trying to get out of the leader's way, not to cause any issues. Bridget Thomas realizes that her teammate's coming. Not to give her teammate any grief, because they are teammates at Chip Ganassi Racing. I think Ari's just like, I'm just going to pass her when we get to the straightaway. So now Ari's going to pass her teammate without much of a problem, because Bridget knew she was there. And now Bridget's going to be a great teammate and hold up Sean Art. Bridget Thomas being a great teammate to Ari Springer and just holding up Sean Art. What a teammate. Yep. And now Ari Springer... Now, Bridget Thomas still being a great teammate and just holding up Sean there. I don't think Sean will be too pleased about that. Whoa, Sean got loose. Hang on there, Sean, as he's trying to get around the 40. 40 is just being a great teammate to the 41. Told Ari, go get that win. So we got three different teams, one out of JD Motorsports, one out of Chip Ganassi Racing, and one out of Joe Gibbs Racing. If any of them go to victory lane today, it would mean a spot into the playoffs. For Sean, he would solidify himself a spot into the playoffs, because here's the thing. Darby King's been to victory lane, so Darby King's already has a win, so she's already locked into the playoffs. Ari Springer, on the other hand, is not locked in the playoffs. She is looking for what would be her first career Buffalo Wild Wings Series win. Plus, the 41 and the 18 are on fresher tires than the 0. Some people are asking why Ari Springer's here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race, or in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series season. She wants to win a championship so she can prove to Cody Smart that I made the right choice to race in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series for a reason. I want to improve in the Monster Energy Series. Well, that decision that Ari Springer made at the beginning of the year is paying off dividendly. Some people thought it was a bad decision, but for Ari, she's making the right choice. She's reeling that 0 in. If these two ladies make a mistake, Sean Art's up there to battle for this lead. Sean Art, I know, is got a win. He's just trying to get back in the top 30 in the points. Ari Springer already won in the Monster Energy Series. She became the youngest pole sitter last season in Monster Energy Series to start on pole. Nobody had that on their resume. And now here she comes. She's going to make the move. She better make it now. She better make this move now. Otherwise, Sean's going to be all over her. Here she goes for the lead of the race. Remember, the 0 and the 18 have been to victory lane. The 41, however, has not. Side by side for the lead, possibly for the win. These three will duke it out. Can Ari get clear? No, she can't get clear. Darby King's fighting back. No, Ari Springer got her cleared. And Ari Springer will lead a lap. Remember, she comes in this race as the points leader. And that was not what Driscoll wanted to see. I think Darby King realized that pitting early was not the right call, but it still can get her a good result, because now she's in the falling into the clutches of Sean. Ari needs to just drive out of here. Ari Springer already won in the Monster Energy Series. She's already won in Trots. She's trying to do what a few drivers have done. Win in all 3 series. And Ari also made a commitment to her parents. I want to win a championship for you guys. Darby King trying to fight back. Of course, remember, Darby King's locked into the playoffs. Darby King doesn't have anything to lose. All Darby King is, she's 6th in points. It's looking very impossible for her to fall outside the top 30 in points unless she gets a penalty. So, Darby King and Sean R., they can just fight for second place as far as that's concerned. Ari Springer, on the other hand, here's the goal she's trying to do. She's trying to get her first career Buffalo Wild Wings Series win. She's leading the points coming in this race, and she's already locked into the playoffs in the Monster Energy Series, so she could be going for 2 championships for the price of 1. As Sean Art's going to go side by side with the 0, that's going to allow the 41 to pull away just a bit. Ari Springer, a former Truck Series champion, as Sean has cleared the 0. But the 0 is going to fight back, so that's going to allow the 41 to start pulling away from these two. How would it be for Ari Springer to win in all 3 series in her career? Brian Gomez has done it. A lot of other drivers before her have already done it. Won in all 3 series. Sean Art has not won a truck race this year. Sean Art would like to join that elite club as well. And Jordan Culp will play a factor in who's going to win this race. Remember, Cody's driver, Justin Hugo, won the truck race. This is Cody's development driver. Could Cody's development driver go 2 for 2? Then they would possibly, regardless, in one of the divisions, go for a sweep. Checking on some battles back here. And Hattie Swore is probably just ready to get a good shower. Not been a good day for a number of these drivers who've had struggles. Trixie Wish is going to be a future star. I can tell you that for sure. She'll definitely be running full-time in the Truck Series next season. As traffic for Ari Springer. As that's 11 laps to go. She's going to have to take it easy trying to get through traffic. Oh, she's held up by the 45. 45 can't get out of the way. 45 can't get out of the way. 45's holding her up. Here comes Sean. Darby King's going to get around. Now they got to get around the 77. Ari's going to get around the 77. We'll also get around the 9. 10 to go. Ari is cleared. Sean Art's the next to clear. Darby King's going to try to clear. Oh, be careful, careful. The 9 trying to hold up the 0. Or was it 77? I think it was the 77. No, there's traffic in front of Ari Springer, so she's going to have to go balls to the wall. Even if Sean doesn't go to victory lane today, he really is going to do his chances trying to get back in the playoffs a whole lot of good. I think Ari Springer just wants to go to victory lane, just get it over with. These 3 drivers have done a great job. Of course, remember, Darby King, not only in the playoffs, she's also a Monster Energy Series driver. So if she ends up in the Danger Zone Monster Energy Series, it will become null and void. Ari Springer is a Monster Energy Series driver, but she's doing this because she wants to race in Buffalo Wild Wings to get the experience. Because this might be her only season. This will be her only season in this car. And she wants this win badly. I know Sean wants a second win to get him confirmed in the playoffs, providing he stays in the top 30 in the point standings. And here's the other thing for Ari Springer. She's not going to be in the danger zone of Monster because, like I said, she's been the victory lane in Monster Energy. She's got to hold off Sean, though. That's going to be the trick. Here comes Sean, but he's on the wrong line. Sean just can't make the pass. We'll be at 6 laps of racing to go when they hit the line. None of the Chip Ganassi cars have been to victory lane this season. Sean Art trying to get his second win of the season. They're side by side for the lead and possibly for the win. Oh, but Sean's not clear. Sean's not clear. Sean's going to have to drive it in, but Ari's going to have to fight back. That's going to allow third place Darby King to get in this fight as we're at 5 to go here in Brazil. And Cody Smart's going very wild right now. Here comes Sean. He's going to try again on Ari. Nearly 3 hours into this race. But Ari's going to continue to fight back. Sean's not clear of that 41. And he just can't get the drive off, so Ari's going to keep the lead. This has been great racing between these two. They have a 4.5 second lead on Justin Hugo. So Justin Hugo backs up his Truck Series finish with another top 5, his first of the season and his career. Laney Fredrickson's going to do is going to have a good points day in 5th. Samantha Greenville, one of the drivers, I believe, in the danger zone of losing her charter. That's a good run in 6th. Victor Gonzalez, Trixie Westgorgo Homer, Paul Michaels, and Amanda Wallace. That completes your top 10 as we're at 3 to go. It'll be 2 to go next time by. 26 on the lead lap. 34 in the race. Everyone else in the garage area. For some of these drivers that have done double duty, they've completed 300 laps today. Two to go. Can Ari Springer hold off Sean Art to get her first career Buffalo Wild Wings Series win? And Ari Springer, no matter what, will keep the points lead heading into next week. White flag in the air. One more time in Brazil. Ari Springer made a commitment at the beginning of this year. She wanted to race both Monster and Buffalo Wild Wings Series to go for 2 championships for the price of 1 this season. She became the youngest winner to go to victory lane in Monster. And she's up there inside the top 50 in points, so that means tomorrow she could go for a second win in that race to get a solidification into the playoffs. But as she rounds through 3 and 4, she's won a truck race, she's won a Monster Energy Series race in her career. Now she can add a Buffalo Wild Wings Series win to her career as Ari Springer will win in Brazil. And as the points leader, Ari Springer might have locked herself a spot into this season's Buffalo Wild Wings Series chase for the championship. And she will no doubt keep the points lead heading into next week at Dover. Bravo to Ari Springer. Bravo to Sean and Darby King. 2nd and 3rd. Sean, a well-needed 2nd. Justin Hugo finished 4th. Standings are now official. 5th, Lainey Fredrickson. 6th, Samantha. 7th, Victor Gonzalez. Trixie West, another top 10 in 8th. Paul Michaels in 9th. And Amanda Wallace came home in the 10th position. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, Luke Peters, last car on the lead lap. Miranda Nowicki, the only car 4 laps down, finished the race. Everyone else finished out of the race. So the points are absolutely going to be shaken up here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series heading into next week. But we know Ari Springer will also gain points, and she might have just taken Darby King, I believe, will keep the Rookie of the Year points lead, I think. Either that or it will be Ari Springer who will be the Rookie of the Year points leader heading into next week. Hope he's from Brazil. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finish results. You will see your updated rookie points and overall points in your pre-race show next week from the Monster Mile of Dover. Tomorrow, we cap off our race weekend with the Monster Energy Series here in Brazil before we head off to the Monster Mile of Dover, which will have AutoZone Amateur Series, Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and the Monster Energy Series. Hope you'll tune in for that. Until then, I've been Dean signing off, and you have been watching yet another broadcast of the PCSRA, the best center racing around the world since 2017. So long from the Emerson Fittipaldi Speedway in Rio de Janeiro.